Okay, so this is my first attempt at brisket. This is what we're working with. Canadian AAA. It's got some decent marbling in there from what I can see. I'm looking forward to getting into it. I'm going to be trimming this thing up with my boning knife. I absolutely love this knife. My wife gave it to me for Christmas. We got it from Knife Works, and it's awesome. Okay, so I've been watching a lot of videos, and apparently you want to remove any excess fat, especially on this side, like on the flat. Like we got the fat cap, I think that's what it's called. I don't know anything about making brisket. I've never done this before. I've just watched maybe like 4 hours of YouTube videos in the last couple days, and yeah, so this is just gonna get boring, so I'm not gonna keep filming myself trimming the fat, but you know, just trying to do the stuff that you're supposed to do, I guess. I shouldn't even be making a brisket. I'm on a diet. And I'm by no means am I like a butcher. You know, I have some cool knives that my wife bought me for Christmas because I wanted to like be able to do a good job like butchering, but I am not very good at it. And I imagine that people would only want to watch this just to see the final result, which we'll see if I remember to even film that, because that's going to be in like 12 hours. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully this goes well. And like I said, it's my first try. And try not to massacre this thing. I don't really like this is like brown stuff. I'm gonna cut that off. Am I supposed to cut it off? I don't know. I literally have to turn this off so that I can watch a YouTube video and see how to finish doing this. Okay, so I've trimmed this up. I made a rub combination. So I took the Traeger prime rib rub and mixed it with the Traeger coffee rub, like half and half, and then I added some salt on top of that. So now I'm just going to shake it up, and now this just looks like seasoning salt, but I'm gonna put this rub everywhere, and then we're gonna let this sit for about an hour. Okay, so here it is with the rub on there. I feel like I used a decent amount, and then we're actually gonna be smoking it with these pellets on the Traeger. So this is a mix of oak, mesquite, and pecan, and this is what they recommended to me. Here's the fat that we trimmed off. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to how this is going to turn out. Hopefully it's not bad. I just want it to be like good. That's all I'm shooting for right now. So something that's kind of funny is this hopper was full of the Traeger Gourmet blend, and so I need to empty it. And they make it sound like when you have these things, like when you open the back door, it's just gonna send all the pellets out. Like, that's not true. It's and maybe like a quarter of them came out. I just broke my spatula now. But yeah, so I'm just trying to empty this. It's okay because the rub needs to stay on the brisket a little bit longer before we throw it on the smoker anyway. But yep, this is basically all that's left in there. It's practically empty, so now we're gonna fill it up with the Texas beef blend. I just emptied the bag of Texas beef in there, so we will see what happens. I have to clean this thing out first anyway. There's some ashes in there, and I want to do this long cook clean. So we got the smoker turned on. I had it set on smoke to get the fire going. I turned it up to 250, so we're just letting it heat up right now. A little thing about this, I put the disposable aluminum thing down, and then I put aluminum foil around that. I got aluminum all over the place. I'm trying to not make a mess. So yeah, next time we see this, it'll be with the brisket on the grill. The smoker's heated up. It's supposed to be at 250. It's at 280 right now, but it'll be okay. It's gonna lose some heat right now, so I'm putting it fat cap down with the I don't even know what that part's called, but it's going towards where the heat comes out, because that's what you're supposed to do apparently. And we're gonna check on that in about 3 hours. I'm gonna have to start spraying it with water and vinegar mixture, and that's it. Okay, so we're about at the 4-hour mark. If you check the probe, we're at 163. So I'm told I need to get it to 165. Look at that. So I'm just gonna give it a little spritz of the vinegar and water mixture. Make sure that it's staying nice and moist, and we'll see what happens. So it's reading 171 on the probe. Take the probe out. Just gonna put it down here for now. It's hot, and I'm gonna take this baby off. So this is, we're about 6 hours in. And tip. As I make a big mess. So we're gonna close that up for now.
Sí, espera. Dale.
All right, so now we're gonna wrap it up. And I'm gonna have to redo this because it just ripped right through that. I was going to put applesauce or something in this, but not anymore. I'm going to just wrap it the other way one more time, just to make sure. Nothing's sticking out. Alright, we're popping it back on there. I'm going to take the probe, I'm going to stick it back in here again, so that we to get a good reading. Yeah, we should be looking at about 4 more hours. All right, so it's we're about 7 hours in. We got the Traeger right there. It smells unbelievable. Like, I am blown away by how good this smells. The grill is holding steady, 274, and the probe is it's getting to 199. So based on what I saw, I was told to take it off of the grill at about 203 internal temperature. So this is what we're looking at right now. Not much to look at. It's wrapped in tin foil. But I just I don't know. Like, I'm supposed to be waiting like 3 more hours for it to get to 203. So I'm gonna have to watch more YouTube videos. Alright, so it's about 11:20 at night. This thing's been cooking for almost 11 hours. I did run into one snag where I was checking the temperature and I pushed the thermometer through the tin foil at the bottom and it started leaking juices. So I had to take it off the grill and rewrap it. But it's been sitting at about 200 degrees for the last hour or so. So, you know, I did the probe test. There was barely any resistance at all. Like, it was just like butter. So I'm gonna attempt to take it off the grill. All right, so it's about 6 a.m. I ended up just falling asleep. I was too tired to want to go through the whole process of this, so this thing's been resting for about 6.5 hours. I guess we'll find out if it was a big mistake or if we're onto something. Alright, so I just unwrapped it. It's still nice and warm. It's looking pretty juicy. So I'm gonna take it off and put the juices into this pan here, and then we'll see if we can start cutting on this bad boy. Alright, so this is what we're looking at right now. I think it looks pretty good. I don't really have like a brisket knife, I just have my chef's knife here. Hopefully that'd be good enough. So I actually made a couple of scores in the meat yesterday to go with the grain, and they're not there anymore. Like, I can't find them. I think this is them. Yeah. So a couple. There's good. It's a little tough on the bottom, but it's good. Lots of flavor. So I just realized that I'm really stupid, and yeah, you can obviously see the scores I put in the meat. I just had to flip it over. It's early. This is 18 hours in the making here. So I'm just gonna cut this off and start slicing here. So some of the fat and the bark isn't really sticking around. I think it just stayed in the foil a little bit too long. But you got that nice smoke ring on there. It's able to hold up under its own weight. And the pull test is working. That was pretty good. So I just carved the brisket. You got the point on the left hand side, the flat on the right, except for this. And we ended up having to refrigerate it and then reheat it in the oven, but it's pretty good. I'm happy with it for my first time. So follow me for more tips on how to do things for your first time ever.